Greetings and welcome to Unscripted with Andy Tosh. This is a show that aims to provide you an alternative perception, uncensored, and where success crowns class. Don't forget to follow me on all my social media handles at AndyTosh_, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Today I'm with the Chairman, Founder, and CEO of Greenlight Advantage Corporation. He's also Chief Investment Officer for Chairman's Fund and also a seasoned serial entrepreneur, a certified or rather accredited investor, and a best-selling author. Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome Dr. Terrence Cash. How are you, sir?
I am fine, Andy. My pleasure to be here today with you.
Thank you so much. So I understand that you're in South Africa currently and you are part of the delegation that just arrived from the United States for an investment forum called the UAE's Africa Economic Forum. What are your views on that?
This is just a tremendous forum where entrepreneurs, government leaders, and business owners and other enlightened people get a chance to really mix it up and stretch their mindsets and their belief systems.
I believe so. So going back to you, who is Dr. Terrence Cash?
Well, I am a seasoned serial entrepreneur of 30 years, Andy.
Of 30 years?
30 years. I know I don't look that old, but I have my 4-digit PIN for the time machine. So here I am. I started the business back in the early 1990s after being unceremoniously released and let go from my day job, which was in the engineering management field. I decided I'm gonna hang out my shingle and try my hand at this entrepreneurship thing. Well, it's a lot harder than it looked.
I can imagine.
A lot harder. That business languished and struggled for many years until I was blessed and favored to be given insights and wisdom and principles that the wealthy use to become rich and wealthy in the first place.
That is very much interesting because people want to be entrepreneurs. Some people are working and they want to quit their jobs. What would be your word of advice to them? Because is an entrepreneur born or do you make an entrepreneur?
I think it's a little bit of the top-down, bottom-up approach. I think there are innate abilities and qualities and behaviors that will well suit you in the world of entrepreneurship. However, there are a number of things that can be learned. A matter of fact, the principles that made my first business a multi-million-dollar business and now this current business, Greenlight Advantage Group, a multi-million-dollar business, are things I actually learned. But I think you are born with some skills and you certainly have to learn others to be successful.
Yeah. So tell me more about Greenlight Advantage Group. What kind of businesses are under it and what kind of businesses are you also looking at? Because as an investor, you're forever looking for innovative businesses, looking to work and rather collaborate with entrepreneurs that are very much innovative.
Over the years, Andy, I have consulted to or coached over 100,000 entrepreneurs and business owners.
Okay.
So I'm very interested in helping entrepreneurs find out the one thing that could derail all their plans. And that one thing is the unknown unknown. Most entrepreneurs do not know what they don't know.
True.
And they make potentially fatal mistakes as a result.
Okay.
So my job, in part, is to make sure that they are going to have their money IQs elevated tremendously. I'm going to make sure that they can add value to the marketplace because that's the only time that you can really validate your product or service set. The marketplace will show you that it's valuable by buying it. And you know, when you buy something, you're making a choice. For that dollar that you give the waiter at the restaurant, that's a dollar that you maybe can't put a postage stamp on an envelope. So you have to make choices. And the choices you make should be progressing and moving you through the line of money.
Yes.
You know, so if you're gonna spend money on any particular initiative, if it's not gonna help you become more knowledgeable and improve and enlarge the greatest room in the universe, the room for self-improvement, then you shouldn't be spending it.
That's true. I understand that 2019 marks quite a significant year for a lot of people that were taken as slaves, particularly Africans. It actually marks 400 years, whereby a ship that carried slaves from African continents actually reached the shores of America. And the most interesting part about that is that they were not taken to the United States just to go and be part of exchange programs, but they were taken so that they can go and participate on the economy, but not being in it, but actually helping to advance it. What are your views around that?
You know, these things are cyclical. I think the whole thing about oppressing, other people for personal gain or for economic gain is a terrible way to make money,
Definitely.
right? However, the Africans persevered and became economically powerful versus African in different places around the world. And I think African Americans bring a lot to the table, and them partnered with their brothers and sisters here in the motherland and elsewhere is just an awesome combination, and they can leverage off each other.
Definitely.
So at this point, there hasn't been a people on the face of the earth that haven't been exploited, right?
That's true.
At one point, the Irish were exploited when they first came to the U.S., and others, Chinese, Japanese. So certainly, we didn't write the book Jews. We didn't write the book on it, but I think we have learned to make progress in various ways, and in certain industries, we monopolize the industry.
That is so true. I understand that right now we are at the door of our return project, or rather program, if I may put it, a journey. What is it that is so significant about being able to return and tracing back your roots?
Well, you just get so much motivation and empowerment. You get, your consciousness runs the full cycle. We are all from here. And now we're coming back here to see where we may be of assistance to the continent, and the continent can be of assistance to us. So this is very, very much a significant and solemn moment. But more important than that, I just think it's tremendous fun and joy.
Definitely.
That's what I feel mostly in being around all my brothers and sisters. Tremendous fun and joy, just seeing what we can do for each other, seeing how far we've gotten and gone in this last 400 years and before, where we were kings and priests. But the main thing is people are looking to make a difference.
That's true.
They're not looking, well, what's in it for me? They're looking at win-win, not just, win-lose. So I've met a lot of interesting people and personalities, and everyone was just all too interested to see where they could help me.
True. Within an economic perspective, when you look at Africa versus the rest of the world, what competitive advantage do you think the continent carries?
Well, the continent has long been known for its riches in resources, right? And many of people have developed tremendous stores of wealth, with holdings in Africa.
Definitely.
Why not Africans and African Americans and then Africans all around the diaspora doing the same thing? So I think that's what we have to focus on too. We have to start a dialogue that we won't end until you have two parties working it out, or multiple parties working it out and bringing their skill sets to the table.
That is so true. So now I'd like to understand that, how do we then move forward from here? One of the questions that Martin Luther King II had asked this question, where to from here? So I'd like to pose the very same question to you.
Right. Well, where to from here? It all starts at the beginning. I know that our people who are black, brown, and beige, are a major disadvantage in terms of wealth principles and their money mindsets and IQs. And one of the things we do, Andy, out of our flagship Business, Money, and Wealth Coached Solutions practice is do just that. There are various building blocks, there are rules, there are laws, there are principles, and there are various truths that are hidden and various lies that are open and distributed that we must conquer as a people. You notice that one of the first things that the Jews teach their kids is about money management, about investing, about banking, right? And it's no wonder why they're so successful financially if they're starting as small children, learning about banking and investments and money management. Our kids don't have that, and I'm not talking about just financial literacy. I'm talking about financial prowess, and I'm talking about financial empowerment, where you learn the laws of creating wealth and preserving it, where you rise to the level of getting intergenerational wealth that you can give your kids.
All right. That is so much interesting. So in closing, what is your advice to an African child that is looking to do business globally?
They're looking to do business globally. They should first and foremost learn the rules of money and learn the rules of wealth, establishment, and leverage. One of the first rules of creating wealth is to protect and keep what you already have. So it's starting where you are now. So if you're only worth, let's say, $150,000, you must protect that $150,000 and keep it. Because why even talk about $1 million, $5 million, $10 million if you can't protect $150,000?
That is true.
One of the things I like to tell people, which you won't hear pretty much anywhere else, one of the first principles I learned, Andy, about wealth creation was that there's two types of people on the planet. There are living people, like you and I are here, human beings, and then there are legal people.
Yes.
And when I say legal people, I mean the group of artificial people that include trusts, estates, foundations, corporations, and LLCs. Those are all people just like you and I, Andy. They have all the privilege that we have under the Constitution of the United States. They have all the acknowledgments and protections that we have under the rules of our home state or township. Here's where the rubber hits the road. They are alike in every way. However, as it relates to money, those other people, those legal people, run circles around us, only as it relates to money. So if you're trying to manipulate, manage, or quarterback your money game, and you're not working with these various entities, you've already lost even before the game started.
That is very much interesting. Where can people get a hold of you?
Oh, there's a number of ways. I would say go to my YouTube channel, which is just searching on my name, Dr. Terrence Cash. Terrence is Terrence, so 2 R's and all E's. Cash, of course, just like currency.
Just like cash.
And you can find out what conferences I might be at. Like you could have found out I'm here in Johannesburg, South Africa this week. I tour all around the country and all around the world, and they can get a more intimate interaction with me as a premium one-to-one coaching client.
Right.
And there's various other ways to interact with me, but those are probably the two more popular and rewarding.
Thank you so much for coming through to Unscripted with Andy Tosh. It's been a pleasure having you.
My pleasure, Andy, and continued success to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching Unscripted with Andy Tosh. Don't forget to subscribe and also to follow us on our social media handles at AndyTosh_. Thank you so much and God bless you.